How's it going? So one thing I find quite interesting about talking about Tekken 8 and even thinking about it and kind of discussing it with friends and then just seeing it being discussed online is, you know, it's that layer of getting into the game. And you know, I was talking about in one of my last video how I find that accessibility is so important, and that making characters easier to execute makes it more welcoming for new players, so they don't feel like there's a massive barrier. Obviously you're still going to have like the 100+ move list and things like that, but not every move always gets used. But it's good to know that if you dedicate yourself to one character and you learn their little nuances and their kind of their 3D mechanics, you know, you'll shine with them. And IGN have obviously had good hands-on content with Tekken 8, and they did a video. It's a built-in teaching tools are legitimately awesome. That's what IGN say. So, you know, I want to see how deep IGN went with this. It's 5 minutes. I'm hoping they'll showcase a bit more. The only thing I know about the teaching tools is that you can see the last 3 seconds, I think it is, of a replay, and you can actually play it out the last 3 seconds to see what you could have done differently to maybe change the outcome. So if you're faced with that similar situation again, or that kind of approach, you could handle it better, which I think is an amazing bit of tech. And with everything else that's coming into Tekken 8, you know, these modes should be talked about a lot more and shine through even more. So I'm interested to see what IGN get their hands on with, and if we see a bit more into that. So let's check it out.
To quote an excellent Tekken player who just happens to be a friend that I train with, in Tekken, the simple act of moving backwards properly requires practice. Fighting games are notoriously complicated, and that can intimidate new players or keep them away entirely. Even if you're an old head, learning a new game takes time.
Agreed. I think, like, you know, movement is important. I think a movement is a massive emphasis right now in Tekken 8. I think they definitely have put the, you know, kind of the stamp on movement is going to be easier to do, and, you know, but certain things have been removed. Obviously, that's kind of another conversational topic, but yeah, I agree with that. It's like difficult, even for people like me who've played Tekken since 1. You know, every iteration of Tekken changes, and sometimes you're good at them, you know, and sometimes you're bad at them. You know, I was never really good at Tekken 6. I never really got into it that much. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't really my Tekken. But I love Dark Resurrection. I love Tag 2, and I love Tekken 7. So, and obviously the previous Tekkens before that were all fantastic. But I just think, like, you know, there was always that kind of, there's always going to be a dip and, you know, a rise and dip and things, you know, and everyone gets their own Tekken and journey. So, which is really interesting. Same with any fighting game. But yeah, learning, you know, those things is so tough. It's so tough, and you know, you've got to be willing to put the time in and a bit of patience. But you can also be greatly rewarded for it. You know, it makes you feel good when you win a game and you pull something off that's just muscle memory. It's great.
But Tekken 8 looks like it's trying to flatten that curve by providing some of the best teaching tools in the genre. So listen up, people. Class is in session.
I'll show you. Most strongest in the universe.
In Tekken 8, picking up a character and having a good time is as simple as picking your character and turning on special style. But say you want to explore everything that character has to offer. What then? Well, you'll want to head to training mode, and that's where you'll notice the first major change in Tekken 8's teaching tools. Previous Tekkens, including the excellent Tekken 7, only listed a character's entire move list, which could total more than 100 moves, in a single numbered list. Not so in Tekken 8. Like Soul Calibur before it, Tekken 8 has that same move list that Tekken fans are used to, but it also has a separate tab for main techniques. Your character's go-to moves, from pokes, pressure strings, combo starters, and launchers.
Which is really cool, because then at least, you know, it's like a bite-sized list of moves that you know, are easy to remember. You know, forward, I don't know, triangle. I like to PlayStation controller. I don't do numbers that often, so I like forward triangle, you know, and, you know, quarter forward triangle, you know, things like that. You know, simple to execute movement, you know, to execute a move to look flashy, and you know, you feel like you're achieving something in a small space, not a massive bar that just goes, you know, all the way down, and you're like, oh man, starting to sweat a little bit. Someone pass me a drink, you know. So I like it. I like that change. I like the 2 tabs. I like it.
Better yet, it'll tell you what they're good for, and if they're a combo starter, they'll give you a sample combo to do, with an accompanying demo you can access at any time. This isn't new, but Tekken 8's combo trials are particularly good at walking you through your character of choice's combo routing. By the time you've finished them, you should have an idea of how your character's moves fit together, and how to construct your own combos. And this is where the new stuff comes in. One of the coolest new features in Tekken 8 is the ability to remember and reproduce a status. Say you're practicing a combo, but you want to try out some different things, or just practice a part that's giving you trouble. As any fighting game player will tell you, it can be a drag to have to set up the situation you want over and over again, instead of just being able to start there. With this feature, you can just perform the situation once, have the game remember the status of the characters at that moment, and reset it whenever you want. Want to practice those pesky sidewall combos without having to manually reset your positioning each time? Now you can. Looking to practice your low parry follow-ups from the moment the low parry hits? You can do that too. It's an incredibly cool and convenient feature, and something I hope will become a genre staple after it appears in Tekken 8. All of those things will teach you how to play your character, but what if you want to learn a matchup? Say, how to fight Kazuya, or how to punish the moves of a specific character. Tekken 8's teaching tools have you covered there, too. The excellent punishment training added as a free update in Tekken 7 returns as a feature in Tekken 8, allowing you to practice blocking and punishing a character's common strings.
I think punishment training in Tekken 7 was kind of overlooked a little bit. Like, I don't know how many people kind of really talked about it. Like, I personally saw it added, and I'll be honest, I never used it. But I think with Tekken 8 being so fresh and new and having all these new features, you want to kind of explore and dive deep into all its kind of, of what it is. And I think, having a practice mode like this and saying, oh, I don't know how to fight this character, I'm not sure how to beat it, what can I do against this move, that move. With Tekken 8, it feels, because it's current gen, it's more accessible, and it has all these great features. It has all these tooltips, on the screen, like the frames, the start, stuff like that. Some of this stuff is easy to find out. With the access to the internet today, you could just Google this stuff or YouTube, and someone's going to make a video and explain to you how all this works and what it is. It's there at your fingertips, so there's no excuse for somebody who really wants to get into Tekken or a fighting game and kind of wants to learn the kind of the headlines of what this stuff does, and then kind of figure out from there and think, okay, I don't understand what that is. Someone must know the answer to this, and you can get that information immediately, and that's how you discover people who teach you this stuff, and then that's how people are connected. Thanks for helping with this, thanks for recommending that, and this is it now. This is the age of where we can put as much as we want in a game, and we can make it as simplified as possible and easy to understand, but there's always going to be questions, and it's great to integrate that kind of real life to into the game, so the people who make it understand it, the people who play it understand it, the people who want to learn it can understand it from the people that play it and make it. So yeah, it's a great addition, and I'll be definitely using all of these tools when I play 100%.
A great place to start for newcomers, or folks just looking to learn more about a matchup. Though a fuller understanding of more optimal punishes will require you to learn how to duck and properly low parry. You can also set the training dummy to try to punish you after blocking or being hit by your attacks. You can record scenarios manually, but you can also select from a list of attacks, allowing you to quickly practice things like frame traps, using low attacks to beat power crushes, and sidestepping. And, naturally, Tekken 8 will let you see frame data in-game at launch.
Yeah.
The real coup de grace, though, is My Replay and Tips.
This is it.
Replays are a standard feature.
This is it. This is the thing I'm excited about seeing. Now, I'm hoping to go into a bit more detail how it works, and we'll see a bit more, but this is fantastic. This is absolutely beautiful, and I'm so excited to use this feature. I think this is more exciting for me than Tekken Ball mode, because it's something that you can interact with. It's like in Cyberpunk. You're going into the freaking VR situation. The brain dances. Your brain dancing inside your own replay. It's amazing.
In fighting games, but Tekken 8 is taking things a step further. Load up any replay in My Replay and Tips, and you'll get real-time feedback telling you how you can improve. Land a hit but don't convert it into a decent combo? My Replay and Tips will show you a better route and let you practice it. Missing your opportunities to punish an unsafe move? My Replay and Tips will recommend a punish for you and let you practice it. Having trouble teching a throw? My Replay and Tips will show you the proper command. Tekken 8 producer Michael Murray described it as being like, you have a friend who's really good at fighting games sitting right next to you that watches you play and says, hey, you should do this instead of that. That means more time in the game and less time looking up stuff on YouTube or a wiki.
And then that kind of goes back into the point I just made about kind of, you know, Googling things and finding out. It's in the game, but you're still going to have to, like, some people will still do that, but I think these tools are so amazing. And also another thing that really, as I just caught there listening to that, was the friend part of it. Now, I have a good friend who I played with, and I consider him one of the best fighting game players I've ever played against. He's so clean, his execution is crisp, and he understands every fighting game he's played. He understands. You know, this man just really understands fighting games, and I've learned a lot from him. And beating him and having matches with him to certain sets and things like that, it always makes me sharper and hones my skills. Because when I face people who aren't as good as him, or you know, they're kind of using techniques I just can't seem to get to grips with, or I'm missing out on. I'm getting frustrated because he doesn't play like that. So I'm thinking, how can I learn to play against those kind of people when my friend, who is incredible, doesn't do that? He plays this way, and I've learned how to play that way. How do I play this way when I'm not used to it? And this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. This can help that. You'll face these people, save that replay, go back into it and go, right, okay, they kept doing this move on me. What can I do if I face somebody who does that again, who's seen someone do it or does it themselves out of frustration? How can I punish them back? This is the perfect tool for that. You can then learn how to cut that, and then you totally wipe that off the board, and they've got to go back to the drawing board to beat you because you know how to punish them for doing what they do, which used to catch you out. Incredible tool. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it.
But here's the best part. You can take control of your character in My Replay and Tips at any moment, for 10 seconds at a time, and practice all the stuff you've learned in real time. Taking over a replay has been done before, but providing real-time feedback and then letting you immediately implement it is a literal game changer. Mix all this together, and Tekken 8 is shaping up to have some of the best teaching tools in fighting games. It's still going to take time and dedication to learn Tekken 8.
Yeah.
It is Tekken, after all. But it's looking like we'll have everything we need to learn how to get better in-game when it launches.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've never been so excited to go back to school.
Yeah.
For more of our IGN first coverage on Tekken 8,
I mean, personally, I think Tekken 8 is shaping up to be probably one of the greatest fighting games ever made. I'm going to say that now. I think it's going to be one of the greatest fighting games ever made. Yeah, there are things that people don't like about it. There are things that people think could be better and change, or it rewards people too easily on high execution, or it's dumbed down some things. But I'm not. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, for all of the techniques and all of the, you know, the stuff that's gone into this game and all the side content, plus, you know, the ranking system's really, you know, really good, and it just, you know, and you put all that together, you've got a massive community of fighting game fanatics that are going to be looking at Tekken 8 and going, right, I might have to start playing Tekken now. Didn't get into Tekken 7, but Tekken 8, I see what they're doing with it and how they're changing it to be more approachable. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is hands down probably the greatest fighting game ever created, and I'm so happy to be a Tekken fan, and you know, it's such a massive, you know, and following the series from one, you know, and seeing its growth and how it's changed, and you know, and it's come to this point now where it's learned from all of its mistakes, and it's created this phenomenal looking game, you know, based on what I played in the beta, and then beyond that it could be even better once it, you know, all the characters are revealed and we see it all in its final form, you know. And January 26th ain't that long away. We've got what, the rest of November, December, you know, and then, you know, we're basically there, you know. The countdown has begun, my friends, and I'm going to be grabbing this game day one, you know, and I can't wait. And yeah, fantastic. So that was a great video. It's good to see the tools in action and talk about them. Something that's not touched on much, but I really think it's important. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate it. And yeah, make sure to come over to the Twitch channel, BoymanBeard. That's 2 Ds, by the way, BoymanBeard. And yeah, playing some Mortal Kombat. You know, while we're waiting, we've got Naruto this month, so I'm excited to play that as well. So yeah, excellent. So take care, and I'll see you when I see you. See you later.